Thank you for listening to Borrego Valley Community Radio. Radio by the community, for the community.
Hello and welcome to Moments with MJ here on BBCR The Ram. And today, the person that I'm getting a chance to speak with is Linda Bates. Linda is an artist here in Borrego Springs and also has written a couple of very lovely books. So Linda, welcome to...
Thank you, MJ.
You're very welcome. And we have another special guest. Who's with us today, Linda?
Today we have Gus. He's the subject of my very first book.
Oh, we've got to hear all about Gus. So what is the title of your first book? How about that?
It's called Gus, Lost and Found in the Desert.
And could you give us a little synopsis of that? A little tidbit about it.
Sure. It's about his discovery by someone of him under a bush, just looking defeated and scared and hairy and dirty. And the word went out on Facebook, is this anybody's dog? And if not, can you help us anyway? And so my husband and I responded, went down, picked him up, got him medical care, and gave him a home. And the story just revolves around Gus and his adventure in the desert.
So that was your inspiration to writing the first book, was about Gus.
Gus was the whole inspiration.
And I'm guessing that if he was owned by somebody else, they never came forward, and especially if he was lost in the desert.
Yes.
It looked like he probably was there for some time then.
Absolutely. His hair was long and shaggy, and he looked like he was a black dog.
Oh, wow.
When we gave him a bath, and you see he's actually a beautiful silver color.
He is a silver.
Yeah, but he
Gray's
was black.
beautiful. Looks like a terrier.
Yes, he is a terrier mix of some sort. And we did try to find the owners. We always do that if we ever come upon a dog that needs help. No one claimed him. And this was actually in Salt Lake City.
Oh, wow.
Where he was discovered. And then they brought him up here, and we picked him up, and the rest is history.
Yes, it is. And now he has a very loving and happy home. Mm-hmm. And dogs have a special place in your heart, yes?
I have always loved dogs. When I was a kid, I remember having an invisible dog. Not an invisible friend, but I had an invisible dog. It was brown with a long tail.
You remember exactly what it looked like?
I do.
For me, I had a horse.
I
had a horse. Because I've always wanted a horse. So.
And same here. I've always wanted to get to know a horse. Yeah. Maybe someday.
I know, right? That I have had the chance to ride last year. And hopefully we'll continue doing that this year.
Absolutely.
But he was your inspiration for your first book. And so tell me a little bit about your process. People that are listening, you might not know, but she also paints. She does beautiful paintings. And did the painting come first or did the story come first?
Actually, it was the story. I had just joined Borrego Springs writing group, which was led by Barb Matson. And through her encouragement and her confidence in me, I started writing poetry again. Oh. Which, as a 16-year-old, like most teenage girls, I wrote those poems. Yes. Well, with Barb's group, I wrote a poem about Gus. And at some point when I was painting, I realized I really like to tell stories in my painting. And so the book kind of evolved from there with Barb's encouragement. And I would show her the paintings I would do every week, and she'd fall in love with them. And so she was really my guiding light when I first got into it. Yeah, absolutely. When I got into this.
Oh, that's amazing. I love it. Mm-hmm. And that was your first book. You have a second book.
Yes, the second book is called, I'm blanking here, Buddy's Desert Rescue. We actually found Buddy first.
Okay.
But I did write the story, Gus's story first. But when Buddy was found, he was underneath somebody's RV out at Clark Dry Lake, wouldn't come out from underneath. And they went down to the state park store, and Shelley Anderson put a post on Facebook saying, can anybody help? And Mike went down, my husband, to see if he could help get the dog out. Finally, that afternoon, they were able to get Buddy out from under the trailer. And he went immediately to Teresa, who we all know as being the great animal lover here in the valley. And she spent 2 hours pulling the cactus out of his face.
Oh, my goodness. So horrific experiences for these poor dogs.
Oh,
out there in the
absolutely.
desert. It's a miracle that they make it through, considering how warm it gets and that they're fighting against predators that are bigger than themselves.
Absolutely.
Because Gus is not a big dog.
No, and neither is Buddy. Buddy's a little bigger, but not much. And the fact that they survived, because they both looked like they'd been out for some time. Gus was thin. Well, they were both very skinny and very dirty. So it's really quite amazing. And to be lost out at Clark Dry Lake, that's an awful long way from a road. So it makes me think he was dumped.
People just didn't care enough to take them to
Exactly.
the pound and Humane Society, where they would have found a home and not have to go through such traumatizing experience. We can only imagine what they went through. And how many dogs do you have in your home right now?
We have
besides
5.
the 2.
We have 5 dogs total. We have 2 greyhounds.
Okay.
We used to foster greyhounds before moving here to Borrego. And then we have my little 14-year-old terrier mix Wing, who was my competition dog in obedience. She's since retired.
So, did you notice what she said, everyone? She talked about her competition dog. Tell us a little bit about that, because now this will help round out the story about how well you are able to work with these dogs that have had such traumatic experiences because of your background.
I started doing dog obedience training 30 years ago when we adopted our first pit bull. Her name was Rowdy. And Rowdy basically changed my life, went in a direction that was more focused on dogs. And I did, I had 4 competition dogs and did a lot of animal-assisted therapy work, which is therapy dogs going into schools and hospitals, libraries. So my focus was definitely on getting dogs acclimated to new experiences, but also enjoying the dog training, which I still do here in Borrego Springs.
It's just fabulous. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to Moments with MJ, and I'm speaking with the lovely Linda Bates, and we have a nice little furry visitor with, you know how I love to have the dogs and the pets around. So this is great. I had Peppy at the last one.
Peppy is my 6th favorite dog.
Your 6th favorite dog after your 5. That makes sense. And we are here in Borrego Springs in her lovely home, and you're listening to BBCR The Ram. And like I said, this is Moments with MJ. And she was just telling us a little bit about, Linda Bates was telling us a little bit about her background as a dog trainer, which is amazing because she's adopted 2 dogs that have gone through traumatic experiences in the desert, but she's taken that and turned it into not only artwork, but also literary work, which is amazing in itself, because so many of us think about doing things like that, but don't. So for you, was there any time that you thought, well, maybe someone else should do the writing? I could just tell them and they can change my words and put it into a way that sounds better. Or maybe someone else should do the painting and I shouldn't do the painting, because all of the pictures in the books are her own paintings. Her own paintings. So not only did she write, but she also did the painting. So was there any time you thought, oh, maybe someone else, I can just tell them and they can type it all out and write it for me?
Actually, selfishly, no.
It's okay.
But I had the greatest mentor with Barb Madsen. She gave me the confidence to feel like I can do this. And then the other beautiful aspect of my book, I have a friend from high school that we kept in touch with all these years. And when I got the idea, I contacted her. She had started a Christian publishing company with her husband over 20 years ago.
Wow.
So I knew she was in the industry. I also knew there's a lot of scammers out there. So I was asking for her for direction where to go to get my book published. And she graciously said, I will format it and get it published for you.
Wow.
So she took all of that scary part away from the book. So all I had to do was concentrate on the creative, send the files to her, and she put it together and added the text. So she made the process easy.
That's wonderful to have a friend like that to have your back. You have a couple of friends
I do.
encouraging you to, yes, you can do this on your own, and then seeking another friend to say, I want to make sure I do this right so I don't get scammed, because that is a worry out there, because there are plenty of places that will just say, well, give us this much money and we'll produce the book for you.
Absolutely. Thousands of dollars, which you'll never make back. Because you don't make a lot of money on books once you get them printed and, put your, it's just not a money-making venture.
No.
It's all a labor of love.
And would you consider these children's books or anyone books?
That's the funny thing. My first thought was children's books. But if people are buying it for themselves, adults that love dogs are buying the books for themselves. And that makes me feel so good. I think if I saw it, I might want to buy it for myself just because of my love of dogs.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So, and I even have a cat in one of them.
Oh, I got to peek at that, because everyone knows that I have cats, but I want to have dogs. I want to adopt dogs. Once I have secure fencing for them, I want to keep them safe.
Absolutely.
Because, as we know, there's a lot of predators that are out and about, and we don't want them getting harmed. So a fence would be something. But dogs have always been on my list of things to get.
Dog and a horse.
Dogs, but the dog, I would have to get 2 dogs because he needs a playmate. I would never adopt one by themselves. I would want them to have a playmate unless they were really needed the shelter. So you're definitely inspiring me to not give up that dream of getting the cute dog. And he's just adorable. He's so cute. He's a beautiful color.
Yes.
He's so pretty.
Yes.
So continuing on with some of my questions that I was curious about. You've written 2 books now. What's next?
My 3rd book.
What?
It will be called Gus's First Christmas in the Desert.
See, I'm acting like I don't know this, people. But I do know that she had a 3rd book coming out, and I can't wait, because Christmas it's more of my favorite holiday, even more than my birthday, though my birthday's not a holiday. Should be, but it's not. But no, I love it. And can you give us a little snippet of what's happening in the story?
The first 2 books say right on the cover, a true story. This Christmas book will say not a true story, because it's about Gus being all nervous because, buddy, we live in the desert. How will Santa Claus know where to go? We live in the desert where there isn't any snow. So Buddy reassures him that he heard that Santa Claus has a team of flying greyhounds that will pull his sled and will be here for Christmas. So then the story is going to be all about the flying greyhounds.
And I love that the 2 dogs, the 2 rescue dogs that were both lost in the desert, are getting a chance to communicate back and forth about how they feel. So now you have a crossover between the 2 books coming into the 3rd story.
That's my 4th book. It's going to be after the rescue.
Oh.
About Buddy and Gus's relationship. They have bonded incredibly. Gus has actually brought Buddy out of his shell. And it's just amazing to watch them racing down the hallway, chewing on each other's ears and wrestling. They are such a perfect match.
And that says a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Because just like humans, especially small humans, like children, the trauma leaves their mark. Even if there's no outward scars, the inward scars take longer to heal. And especially with an animal that can't express and say in words, well, I'm scared because you held a newspaper and I used to be beaten with the newspaper, or I'm scared because it's dark now and I don't want to go out in the dark because I was left in the dark for such a long time. They can't express that in words the way humans can. So the fact that they're playing, they're letting go of that fear long enough to enjoy their life, says several things. One, they're comfortable.
Yes.
They're happy in their home. They feel safe with you.
Yes.
And they know that they're in a good spot. So all that stuff that happened before, those scars are still there, but they get a little bit less the longer they're in a positive situation. And that's what Gus and Buddy are showing us, that even with time, those scars can heal.
Absolutely. It's really a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah, I bet it is. Because he's cute, you guys. He's like the perfect size.
Yes.
He's the perfect size, and I love that she described him perfectly. He really does look silver. He looks like he has a little gray around his nose, but the rest of his body is silver, and that's like a beautiful metal. He's very sparkly. He's sparkly in dog form. You're sparkling in dog form with these beautiful big brown eyes.
Yes.
And he just looks at you like, I'm cute, aren't I?
He knows it.
Yes, I'm sure he does. So we've got a Christmas book coming up. Will it be coming out, what do you think, like November? Or
probably in the fall, yes, that's my plan.
That sounds excellent. And once again, I'm here with Linda Bates here in Borrego Springs, and you're listening to BBCR The Ram, and this is Moments with MJ. And we are almost done with our wonderful conversation about Buddy and Gus is hanging out with us, and it's just great for him to be here. So you've said that there were several other people that encouraged you, and this is here in Women's History Month. What are some words of encouragement for girls and women out there that are thinking about writing or thinking about painting or thinking about even adopting stray animals? Because all that stuff can feel daunting or scary and intimidating. But what words of encouragement would you give them?
Jump right in.
Jump right in.
Both feet.
Both feet.
Yeah, don't test the water, just do it.
So follow your heart.
Follow your heart. Find joy in small things.
Amen to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And sure, you may be a little discouraged, but let that go and think of the positive. I've always been a very positive person, and that has served me well.
Yes, it has. And I want to thank you, Linda, for taking the time to speak with me today, and for Gus being here and being such a good little companion and friendly. He was a little barky at me first, but he didn't know me, so he was doing his job.
Yes.
And I respect that. And then he just came up and he sniffed me and checked me out and was like, okay, I think she's all right. So thank you for welcoming me here too. And where can we get your book if we want to get your book?
Christina's Desert Lovers Shop in Borrego Springs. Also, the art gallery has them, and let's see, the Fudge Factory is carrying the book.
So
now.
you could get Fudge
and the book,
and buy one book. Then you can go over to Desert Lovers and Company, who I talked with. Get the other book and get some cards to go with the book, and then we round it off. Where was the last place when
the art gallery?
And then go to the art gallery, get another book, and look at some beautiful art. All within, like 5 minutes of each other.
Yes. And they are also available on Amazon.
And you can also go to Amazon if you want to do that. If you want to have it shipped somewhere, that makes sense too. But, you can hit the other places and get some fudge, get some beautiful cards, and then go look at some beautiful art and still support.
Yes, support our small business.
Small businesses.
They also carry it up in the small town that Mike and I came from in Washington State.
Oh, wow. So her book is getting around, people.
It is.
So you should definitely check it out. I will give you the information again. It will be in a post on Facebook. And so we'll be hopefully hearing more from you. We have to come back.
Okay.
And talk about the Christmas book.
I will show you a few pictures before you leave.
I'm going to get a sneak peek, people.
Yes, you are.
So thank you, Linda. Thank you, Gus, for taking the time to speak with me today. Once again, you're listening to BVCR The Ram, and this is DJ MJ with Moments with MJ. And from my wonderful spot in the world here, speaking with Linda and Gus, I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.
That's right. We don't need no stinking FCC. That's why our call letters are BVCR. That stands for Borrego Valley Community Radio. The hyperlocal. The original. The Ram.